What's the word, everyone? What is the word, man? How's everybody doing out there? I've been good. I ain't even wait for nobody to answer, but I really been good, man. A lot's changed since the last time I did this. And the other day, man, I came across this podcast called Ready to Talk, and I was like, damn, this shit's fire. And then the homie just disappeared. I wonder where he's at. But let's continue this. I'm welcoming y'all to the episode 2 of my podcast called Ready to Talk. Pretty much, I'm just really doing this to kind of express myself and let you guys kind of get to know me and everything that I do. I know it feels like I'm repeating myself from the last one, but it's been so long. For the people that are just tuning in, that's pretty much the concept. And for this episode, I have put on my Instagram pretty much, if anyone had any questions that they wanted me to answer, even though only 3 of y'all asked, but the questions kind of correlated with each other. A lot of it was geared towards how do I keep up with my momentum? How do I keep up with just staying positive? How do I stay focused? And oddly enough, I was doing a little bit of spring cleaning in my phone through the voice notes that I have, and I found some voice notes that pretty much kind of explain that. These were recorded about 2018. They were recorded 4 years ago. So what I do outside of this podcast is sometimes I'll just record voice notes when I feel like I have a message that I'd like to give myself so I can hear later on. And these I completely forgot about, to be honest. And going through, I was looking for some voice notes with some verses in them, and then I came across these. So I picked 4 of them to kind of break down what I applied in the last 4 years that allowed me to change and grow. And, till this day, all of them still apply. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit of background of the 4 voice notes that I'm about to play. The first one really goes into perception. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in finance. There's a lot going on in health. And I have recorded a voice note to myself to remind me to stay grounded and level-headed throughout all of it. And this was before even COVID hit. The stock market at the time was really, really booming, right? So I had recorded this voice note to explain to myself how to not get too excited or too down. And also how to not fall for propaganda. The news loves to promote one angle, and sometimes if you're not savvy enough, you'll fall into that trap, not knowing that there's another perspective that might be able to help you win or to grow your money or to help you get out of any bad situation that you feel like you're stuck in. So this one I'll probably call perception, because that embodies the whole note. So we'll start with that, and then we'll come back. This note's about maybe 10-11 minutes. Give me feedback. Let me know anything else you guys want to hear. So let's start with the first note. So I wanted to talk about perception, right? I was looking into the boom in the tech world and the .com era, and it's crazy to see that it happened during the late 90s, early 2000s. Now let me take everybody back to that time period. The biggest fear the general public had was the failure of technology. We're talking about Y2K, right? Everything was gonna fail. They had us shopping thinking the world was going to end. But if you look into that time frame, it was the time frame where a lot of people invested into internet-based companies, and that just shows that they actually believed in the growth that was coming. But the general consensus was the world's ending. Technology is going to fail. Your clock is going to stop working. The microwave is going to stop working. Deep down inside, there were wise investors that actually invested into this technology. They understood that the technology was shifting. So this kind of leads into just investing. I'm going to give an example now. This example isn't one that specifically has happened, but just to kind of show you guys how perception works when it comes to investing, right? Let's say Samsung. Samsung is a very dominant brand in the technology sector. And I'm not going to go out on a limb and say they're the top, but they're definitely a dominant brand. That brand is very strong. So for just for numbers' sakes, let's say they were trending, their shares were trending around $100, right? And so their shares are trending around $100. Then this headline comes out and says, oh, all Samsung tech has been recalled, or Samsung is failing as a company, right? And you put it on the press, CNN, ABC, everybody's printing it. Samsung's failing. Now, what any investor would do would be sell. Oh, okay, because the amateur investors see these headlines and they're selling. No doubt in my mind, they're selling. They're thinking, okay, I may lose all my money. I'm just selling this share and I'm not looking back. So now the shares are plummeting, going from 100. Now we're talking $70, $60, $50. Next headline that comes out, Samsung shares open at an all-time low, right? Now, to the general public, it looks like the company's failing. That's the point of view. It's like, oh, it's at an all-time low. They're going to crash and burn. To an investor that's been in that position before, I'm looking at it like, oh man, I'm buying Samsung on clearance. Samsung was $100 last week and now it's $50. I'm buying this shit on clearance. And I'm buying a whole lot of it, right? Now, Samsung, of course, a company, not just the company, not Samsung, any company that truly believes in their own brand will always work to turn around a problem. That's just a given. Any good CEO will work on that. Any good company will work on that. So if this is a brand that I believe, let's say I use Samsung for the past 5 years of my life, and I trust in the company culture that they have, I trust in the product that they put out, and I look at it like, okay, something went wrong. They're going to try to fix it. So that share that's now $50, I'm buying a whole lot of them, even though I sold at 100. I'm not just gonna not believe in Samsung. A lot of people are gonna wait till the share goes back to $80 to say, oh man, they're going up. But it might stagnate at $80. Whereas I bought it at 50 because I always believed in it. I bought it at 50, I'm now at 80. So I made $30 per share on that $50. Let's say they turn around and the next product they come out with, revolutionary, that same share is now trending to hit 150, 200. Now, I mean, you do the math. For every 50 I put in, I got 200 back on my money. That's a good flip. And I've seen this happen with, the company that I've had luck with, the two specifically, Netflix and Apple. Netflix has probably been my major breakthrough as far as investing. When I had bought their shares at 122. And this was after the stock split. So I bought at 122. And let me see. I have to open it up right now to tell you where the stock is sitting. So Netflix, I bought at 122, and is now sitting at 268, right? At peak. So the best growth that I've seen with Netflix was over $400. Now think about it. I invested $122. I should have cashed out at $400 for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. But I feel as if, and I'm not advising anyone. This is not me giving finance advice. I'm not licensed here. I'm just letting you guys know based off of my experience. I'm gonna stick around because I expect them to go beyond the 400 mark again. I might even buy more at the 260, but it's been going down for a little bit, so I'll wait and see. I just watch the headlines, and the second I get the biggest drop since whatever, I'm buying for sure, because it's almost like the same way these companies let you know about their sales. Like when you look at a Macy's flyer and they're like, biggest sale of the weekend, when it comes to stocks, it's projected like a negative thing, like the downfall of, and it's cool, like some of you guys may fear the idea of losing money, but I've had luck just following this sort of, I don't want to say opportunistic thinking. I'm not more so, well, I mean, I could consider myself an opportunist. I look at the situation and I see how I can come up for the better end goal of everyone, not just myself. I'm sure Samsung would appreciate me putting my money and believing in their brand the same way I appreciate the return that I'm getting on that money. So that's just to say, when you're investing, you can't invest emotionally. When your share is dropping, you can't be emotional about it. When you're seeing tremendous growth, think about it. I went from 122 to 400. I almost lost my mind when I'm looking at my TD Ameritrade account. I'm just staring at the amount, and I'm like, did this just really happen? What do I do? And I got overexcited. I won't lie. I was hoping it would hit 700 again. You know, the days before the split, like it just broke barriers, and then I would just retire. But it wasn't the case. But I do believe that it will reach that level over time. So I'm just investing wisely. And the second company that I've had luck with, well, you know what? I won't even discuss this as much, just because. No, you know what? Let's do it. So Apple, I bought into Apple at 125. That was my purchase price. Right now, Apple is sitting at 170. Decent profit, right? At the highest point, Apple sat over 230, which again, I should have sold, waited for it to drop, went back into it. But this is, again, another company that I truly feel will hit those marks again. For sure. I can't predict the amount of time, but the way they're producing hardware, they're producing product, it's only a matter of time. And, you know, who's going to evolve first? Who's going to come out with the next huge tech device that everybody's flocking towards? And nowadays, it's not even about tech anymore. It's really about media content. If you were really going to be honest about the next things to invest your money in for return, media content and artificial intelligence, machine learning, that realm. I'm not really big on that realm myself. I'm still a little skeptical about it. It creeps me out. It's not even the skepticism. It creeps me out. It makes me feel a little uneasy to think about, you know, machinery really being smart, but it's super cool at the same time. But I think that's where tech is going right now. Machine learning and just evolving technology, 5G, information, the speed of information, things of that sort. But that was just my little tidbit for the day. So y'all go out there, invest. If you guys have any questions, email me. always around to try to help people as much as I can. And again, I'm not licensed in this, so this isn't legal advice. I'm not giving anyone legal advice. This is just advice based on my experience and ways that I've made money myself. All right. So again, you guys can email me, entrepreneurial@gmail.com. You can also find me on IG, Twitter. Just give me feedback. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to hear. If you agree or disagree, I'm open to it. But now, we'll go into the second voice note. So the first voice note pretty much spoke about how I keep my mind level-headed. But this one goes more into the people around you and how to invest in the people around you. This voice note I'll probably call the bag, because that's what I'm referring to in it. Collecting a bag or stacking the bag. And one thing that I've learned is that the bag, well, a big part of it does rely on the company you keep. Now, I've gone through my own fair share of friendships and family troubles and, everything else that comes with pretty much being alive, it feels like. But this goes more in depth about how if you are able to pour into the people that are around you, how it would be an infinite bag for you. Now, don't get me wrong. I know what some of you guys are thinking. There are people around you that just are there to watch you fail. There are people around you that are just there to bring you down. There are people around you that are there to just drain the energy out of you, right? But there's a balance in that. The balance, that's something that every individual kind of has to find for himself or herself. For me, I've always been big on taking care of others before I took care of myself. Till this day, but to a fault. Over the years, I can say that I was like that to a fault, where I would pour all of me into others, where I would just be left angry, bitter, and all of these things. And now I'm just finding a balance in giving and also keeping my peace. So for this voice note, we'll call it the bag. You guys check it out. It's about 10 minutes. Let me know what y'all think. I want to talk to my guys going after the bag. Actually, you know what? Ladies too going after the bag. This could go with you guys too. If you really want a bag, and a big bag, like you're trying to collect something to really change lives, you really have to start focusing on the things that are between you and that bag. And it's not necessarily like the obstacles. Everything you want really bad always has obstacles, but the things in between, your company that you keep, your habits, pretty much what creates your identity almost. But you're trying to get to something that could elevate and change a lot of people's lives. That's where the bag is. The bag isn't at the end of a crossroad, or we're gonna go chase this goal and we're gonna do this. That's cool. Like, those goals, they create that drive and create that motivation. But you need to understand the bag really is in that environment. The people that you conduct business with, the people that you affiliate with, your partner, just in general, everything. That's the bag. The bag almost gets built. It's not something. There's a concept of collecting it. That's good. You go collect a bag, but the bag is really the bag that you're carrying all of this with. What's your backbone? What are your values? What do you know for sure? Like, no, I'm not crossing this line. I would never cross this line. It doesn't matter how much. And I'm so confident that I'm not doing this, and it's going to come with abundance. There's going to be so much more with me saying no to this. Like, instilling that not only in yourself, but the people around you. That culture, creating that place where people want to be and they want to be like the person they want to be like. And it takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of sacrifice in yourself, because not everybody around you might understand the dynamics of the bag. They feel like, oh, I might want more. I do a little more. I should deserve this and that and the third, and start thinking in an egotistical way. When in reality, the bigger the bag, the more there is to go around. To those same exact people, the people that hold you up when you're down, that really hold you up, they'll carry you if they have to. That's your bag right there. That's your bag. Looking around you, where you stay, your mental state. How do you feel? We don't even ask ourselves how we feel sometimes. And that's ourselves. Like, how do you feel today? You know what I'm saying? Check your limbs. Stand up, stretch. Take a couple of deep breaths. And just ask yourself, like, how do I feel? Why do I feel like this? Whether good or bad. You might wake up on the wrong side of the bed one day and you're like, damn, I'm really angry. You don't think about it. You just get up. Get ready for work. Now you're in traffic. Now you're late. Your boss is talking in your ear. It's just, everything is just off. We try to kind of cruise through it. But why do I feel? What's going on with myself? How do I feel today? Do I feel good? Do I feel sad? Do I feel energetic? The first thing in understanding others is understanding yourself. Just understanding who you are and going through everything. Don't shy away from anything you feel. Anyone that knows me would know, at least anybody that I collect a bag with, we'll stick to the script. Like, everybody that I collect a bag with would completely understand. Damn, I lost track right there. Having people around you that understand you as a person makes a huge difference too. That's a bag right there. That's the solid one too. Sometimes you are acting out of character. A lot of people, sometimes we act out of character, but there's no one there to say, yo, bro, like, I feel you. We going through a lot right now, but I just want to let you know you falling off. You falling off. You're not solid right now. I don't know what I got to do to help you, but you're not solid right now. Sometimes you have to be that guy to keep that bag together. You just got to put your pride aside. And if you know somebody's going through some shit, you just got to be like, yo, look, I feel you. We all go through shit. We all make crazy decisions trying to figure shit out. Nothing's really scripted. Life is kind of funny. Nothing's really scripted. And you're just kind of going through it. But having that mindset to know that everybody else is the same way. Everybody's going through it. It's not just you. You might feel like it's just you and take things personal, but in reality, everybody's going through it. But are you that person that can make the difference? Keeping that whole thing together, just working and flowing. Even when you're off, having that solid foundation to be like, hey, you're off. Step it up. And being able to even vocalize that to others. A lot of times we shy away because we don't want to say something to somebody that may put a little strain or a little tension in the relationship, and we just rather watch them self-destruct. That affects you too. that honestly affects you too. You can't fake it. We try to. A lot of us fake it. That's like a real 9 to 5 kind of mentality. Like, oh, even through the bullshit, you gotta smile through it. There's some bullshit. Personally, I don't smile through it. There's nothing funny about it. Nah, I'm just going to feel how I feel, understand why I feel the way I feel, learn something from it, and it's never going to happen again. But I might need that moment where, no, I'm not accepting it. It's not funny. Don't laugh about it. And having those boundaries set. Everybody has boundaries, and everybody has things that you push and it throws you off your game. And having a lot of people around you, they need to be aware of those things. And you need to be aware that they know also. I know, it sounds crazy, but they need to know the buttons not to push, right? But you also need to be aware that they know what buttons to push. It's almost that thing that keeps you, I don't want to say powerful because it sounds dark, but it keeps you, I'll say loved. Just loved. It's the vulnerability. It's like, yo, you know everything about me, but you've also seen the part of me that happens when you try me. You also see the part of me that happens when we're good. And we can move past it. And we can move past it. More importantly, we can move past it because at the end of the day, I affect you, you affect me, clearly. Wearing a mask sometimes, it could kind of get you all fucked up. And it throws everything off. When you're off, that whole bag is off. That entire bag is off. How do you keep control? How do you keep control getting to that bag? Those are the obstacles you focus on. Those are the things that get into that bag will either make you win or lose. All right, let's keep this thing going. So far, we covered the mental portion. We covered the people around you. And the next one is, let me check. Oh, okay, got it. So this voice note was a note to myself just to remind me that through everything. So, we spoke about keeping your perspective clear. We spoke about pouring into your friends and people around you. But now, a big part on how I'm able to maintain my consistency and my drive was learning that a big key to your success is yourself. This I learned really late. Really, really late. I won't even lie. I was that kid that always felt like I had to have people around me. I had to save face. I had to be a people pleaser. But at some point, after, you get backstabbed so many times, people just say some reckless things to you. You hear things and opinions about people that you valued. That shit kind of hits you hard because I truly value anybody that I allow very close to me. Just because I don't really like people in my business like that. I don't really even like talking to people that much, to be honest. But those that do get that chance, I've given a lot, and I felt like I've been giving back so little. And now I'm actually living out in Tallahassee by myself. So if you guys didn't know, I lived in Palm Beach for a little bit after living in Brockton. So I went from Brockton to living in West Palm, and now I'm living in Tallahassee, and I'm back and forth from Tallahassee and Perry, Florida. And I spent that time alone. a lot of that time alone, and it allowed me to kind of slow down, take a trip internally, and really kind of focus on the fact that without me, I wouldn't be able to do all of these things. And it sounds small, a lot of you guys probably live that life already where it's all about me, me, me. But this is a new thing for me. It's weird. Like, I still feel wrong sometimes when I make a selfish decision. But sometimes you do need that. You do need that. And that internal journey definitely allowed me to elevate just my drive and my vision, and allowed me to see things that aren't in front of me, but I know that they're there. So when I'm chasing these goals, it's not something like I'm chasing my tail. I can actually see where I'm headed. I can actually see results. So for this one, we'll call it Go Within. This voice note, we'll call it Go Within. Just because I feel like everybody should have that time of solitude where it's just them. And for those that can't, I say still try, even if it's a week. I know some of us are parents now. I know some of us have a lot of responsibilities. But just even a week where you can go with no phone, no contact with nobody. You don't even have to really talk. That really helps, because sometimes I'll be at the crib and I won't say shit. My dog will be there. We'll just stare at each other. I'll put on a movie, or I'll write a verse. I'll read a book. And I don't really say anything. I don't say anything verbally. I don't check social media. I don't check my text messages. I'm just kind of there. Allow myself to just be. So this voice note is called Go Within. It's about 11 minutes long as well. So it seems like that's about the average time. So check it out. Let me know what y'all think. The thing about life sometimes, it's the journey within that kind of that really helps you grow. You can change the environment 100 times, houses, friends, everything. Just, you could change those things 30 million times, but until you take that journey within yourself, it's really kind of hard to grow. And when you have a lot of things going on around you, it's very easy to get lost in just that environment that you're in the current state, just the current frame of mind. But life is really about finding your why. Why do you wake up every morning? Why do you do the things that you do? Like, what makes you happy? What are the things that make you happy even when things are really, really bad? Everything's bad. What are those things? And the majority of us actually, we don't take the time to think about that. And that's really what's going to make all the difference. All the difference in the end. Just the why you do things, the why behind your actions, what motivates your actions, what motivates bad decisions, what motivates you to feel sad, what motivates you to feel anything, and just aligning with the things that make you feel good about waking up. Sometimes we literally wake up and then show up to a place we hate. Don't get me wrong, a lot of us love our jobs and love what we got going on, but I'm talking to those, like, for a while I was the same way. When you wake up and you go to something you hate, and it's not necessarily, you know what? Funny thing about hate, like, it's almost, you go somewhere that you hate, but you never take the time to figure out why you hate it so much. you could hate something and never really figure out why you hate it so much. And that's literally the thing that comes with figuring out yourself. So, speaking for myself, I just thought I would share. Here's what my next journey is going to feel like, and the things that I'm going to focus on, which I think everybody should take some time and do the same. The first thing you want to figure out is, what do I want in myself? What do I really truly want in myself? What do I want? Look around you, figuring out, what do you want in yourself? Do you want to be a gentleman? Do you want to be really anything? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want, what does the you inside want? Truly want. When you wake up in the morning, if there's that one thing, what is it? What do you expect out of yourself? What do you want out of yourself? And then from there, you just kind of have to navigate and figure out, what do you want out of love? Because love creates all things around you. Love creates all things around you, and we don't notice it. We don't notice that. We don't take the time daily to just notice how we create everything that's going on around us. If it lacks love, it creates strain, it creates a problem. If it's full of love, it creates abundance. So, just figuring out what you want out of love. And love doesn't necessarily have to be with anybody. It could be just the loving of just going through life. You love life so much that it's filled with joy. And then next, I think I want to figure out what I want out of family. Family's important. Family's almost the foundation to any great person. Any great person. Your family, if you think about it, those are the people that you spend most of your time with. Some of us don't. Like myself, I moved away from home. And it makes me appreciate a lot more things about family. I don't see them all the time. I don't talk to them all the time. Even in my own family, I see my family growing from afar. And you just kind of watching everybody kind of grow up into their own person. And it just kind of, it makes me think, like, if I could paint that family picture through good, through bad, through anything, just that family image that I'm like, okay, I'm really proud of us, so I'm proud of everything that we became. Every family has problems, that's natural. But as a whole, there needs to come a point where everything kind of comes together. What do you expect out of your family? Boundaries are just things that you set in every alley in your life. So what do you really want out of family? And it's not necessarily what they can do for you, but what can you do for them? How can you help the whole family grow? Outside of just you, it can't just be about yourself. If you're able to allow a family to grow, take the shot. Do it, step in. Show them better. Show them growth. It might even be one of your cousins, you don't even like them. But you know in your heart there's an opportunity you can create. There's something that maybe if they could change, it would better them, but we'll shy behind ego, personal feelings. At the end of the day, those barriers have to be broken, because barriers creates distance. You just gotta break those barriers. You can't be afraid to let somebody know when they're messing up. Allowing them to is almost like you're just as much as the problem. You can deny, you can act like it doesn't matter, but deep down inside, that energy still exists. So literally, you could help, just help. What do you want out of your family? Show them. And then I need to figure out what I want out of money. That dictates a big part of happiness. A lot of us think that we just need a lot of money, or money will fix problems, and Nope. Without figuring out what you want out of money, money will always just be a thing that you're running after. Some of us make 30,000, some of us make 40,000, some of us make 100,000, some of us make millions. Everybody is kind of, but ultimately, if you build on those things I mentioned before and you figure those things out, money isn't really much of a problem as long as you align within the things that make you happy. You don't have to overstep the goal. Having goals is pretty key in all these categories. Just having goals that's set in every part of your life and you're just attaining them, I think it will create just a whole person. We go through experiences and collect parts of other people to build ourselves, but at one point you become a whole person with just everything that you learned and picked up. And then lastly, I think this one's pretty big because that's the charisma behind it. This last one here, that's going to be the charisma behind all of the things that you want to accomplish, because this is what you're putting out. It's really figuring out, how do I want to be remembered? When you're gone, what are people going to say? And that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure because you don't want to fall into a trap where you're living your life for other people. You don't want to do that. So like, really, how do you want to be remembered? When everything is set in stone and you can't change it anymore and you're gone, how are people going to speak about you? What are the memories they're going to hold? How did you help them evolve? It's almost like becoming a legend. That person that set so many, I don't know if I would say routines, but just created a culture. Creating a culture around just being yourself at your happiest form. A culture within family, love, money, everything. Just a culture that people want to duplicate. What is that going to be? How are people going to speak? When your name is said, something needs to happen. And maybe that's dreaming big. I don't know. I don't know if I'm dreaming really big right now. I could be really dreaming beyond things I understand, but in my heart, that's truly how I feel. Anybody can become a legend, and it's within those things you align with yourself. I may not be known around the world. I may not be known in the whole country, but all of the things that I align myself with and the people that I align myself with, they're gonna know. And that's all that really matters. Who really matters at the end of it? What really matters at the end of it? So far, those are 3 keys that I've applied to my own journey that have helped me grow as a person, to be able to still pour into others. That selfish journey was pretty interesting, to be honest. It feels almost like, how can I explain it? You spend so much time alone that the outside world doesn't seem real. I'll interact with people and I'll be like, damn, like, they have 0 emotional intelligence. They have bad manners. They just say things without thinking. And it's little things. Some stuff you would think are just like basic interaction, but not everybody's built like that. And when I went within, it cleared my vision to see people for what they are or who they are. Some people that are around you really don't want to see you win. Some people that are around you that do want to see you win, you probably don't even notice them there. But once you know yourself, you feel it. You feel it. There's people that I don't know, and I can be around them, and I just feel happy. Legit, I just feel happy. Don't have to talk, nothing. It's just you were there, we saw each other, could have been 2 seconds, and I felt happy. There's some people I'm around them, by the time I leave, I'm just exhausted, I'm tired, and we didn't really do much or say much, but I'm exhausted. And having that balance of understanding the people that are for you and the people that are not, that's probably one of the most important things as far as growth, because you would be surprised how many people hinder your growth. And for as long as you're living your life in this outer world, you won't be able to see it, because a lot of us attach to trauma. A lot of us, like, I don't smoke anymore. I take that back. I had quit smoking before, and I started smoking again, probably like after 2 years after I got my master's. But when I started smoking again, I noticed that I would not smoke with people. Like, I didn't care for it. I did not care to have a cipher. I did not care to have a conversation while we were high. I just didn't care for it, because I noticed that I was building a lot of bonds with that. Bonds that I really don't care about. Like, they don't matter to the big picture, and vice versa. I might not even really matter to their big picture, but we just two stoners. So for some reason, I just did not care. I didn't care to smoke with anyone, and I spent a lot of time smoking by myself. That also helped me with that journey within, though. I won't even lie. Smoking by myself, having nobody around, just chilling with myself, enjoying my own company. But now that I don't smoke again, that's pretty much the nail on the coffin. I'm able to see all of the things that I felt clearly, and see maybe, sometimes it could be just paranoia too, but I'm able to tell the difference. Even when I was high, I'd be able to tell, like, okay, my mind's kind of running off the ledge here. I gotta slow down. But now that I'm not smoking anymore, I've been able to kind of see the outer world for really what it is. If I'm annoyed, I'm annoyed. If I'm happy, I'm happy. Like, I don't have to suppress it at all. Because a lot of the times I would go to work, and by the time I'm done with work, I'm fucking mad, yo. Like dealing with people can be draining. But I would get home, roll up, smoke, and everything would be fine. And I was able to do it again and again and again and again. And once I stopped to really get to know myself, I realized that, one, that was my coping mechanism, and two, I don't really give a fuck about a lot of the shit that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. I don't need to deal with it, as a matter of fact. A lot of that shit can just go out the window. And I was able to actually execute that too. But yeah, that one's probably one of my favorite voice notes that I've recorded. And now this last one, this is also something that took me a lot of experience actually to learn this, because it's about opportunities that are in front of you. A lot of the times we'll see an opportunity and we're like, oh shit, let's go, right? Let's do it. We're gonna hit a lick. This is it. Our life's gonna change. Then you learn through the opportunity that maybe that opportunity was not your opportunity, right? So for an example, let's say, like, I rap. Some people know that, some people don't. I rap. And I've been in rooms with different people. I've had conversations with different people at different levels too. I'm not even like just gassing nothing, like really at different levels. Whether they were A&Rs, label CEOs, some you guys really know, some you don't. But I learned that not every opportunity that you're presented is your opportunity. And once you learn that and you're able to only stick to the opportunities that fit not only your spirit, but what your goals are, it makes everything easier. The whole fear of missing out kind of goes out the window. I could care less when I see people, partying, turning up, having all this fun on social media. That shit does not faze me at all. I don't seek that. I don't seek to be on a boat in Miami, on the water. I don't seek things like that just because that's not fitting to what I'm trying to do. I'd rather be international, somewhere really far away where nobody I know is there, And those are the goals that I'm going after. I might be boring now, that's cool, but that's just me knowing that opportunity is not for me. No matter how you present it, could be crypto, it could be NFTs, it could be even just flipping this to that or PPP. Doesn't really matter what anybody's really doing out there. Kudos to them for getting their bag. That's for sure. I'll never hate on a nigga getting his bag. But when it's, you not getting money if you don't, man, I've gotten money, I've lost money, I've gotten opportunities, I've lost opportunities. And one thing that's consistent is that some of that shit was not for me. I tried so hard to fit in that box and it just wasn't for me. So this voice note, we'll call it the opportunities. So check it out. But you just charge it to the game. It's a jungle outside, so you gotta get what you gotta get. You gotta do what you gotta do at the end of the day. But I guess the concept here is just the alpha that's around, the one that gathers the troops. Sometimes you just gotta find your alpha, and I'm starting to see alpha not as a type of person, but how can I say it? It's more like a thing, like a tool. Not everybody's gonna be an alpha male in every type of way and hit every category, but you just have to know what your thing is. Once you know what your thing is, be that. And that's one of the things that they don't really teach you as a kid. It's just, but you always know. Every kid or every adult, every teen, there comes a point where you fit into a role and it just works. It brings you everything you ever wanted. But a lot of the times you fall out of that role either because of your environment, not able to see it. When you're really coming up, and it's kind of hard to see everything in hindsight at first. But being in an environment that can actually help you boost your skill set, that's your alpha, would help. But there's always a point where you fall into a role and you control the field. You just have to find that thing. Everybody wants to be so many things, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You could be a million things, but there's that one thing. There's just that one thing that that allows you to maneuver differently. And for everybody it's different. I'm now learning my strong hand. Everybody has a strong hand. Every male, there's a strong hand. And it's just a matter of how you play that hand. And I'm understanding this now. A lot of people might already know this stuff. And it's kind of, I don't look at it like it's a bad thing, whether you did know or not know. But I'm telling you now, if you don't have to be like the next person. Everybody's completely different. And everybody's too busy trying to fit in that one pocket. That doesn't work out. I've known a lot of pockets that I try to go into, and there's no balance. Like, it throws something else off. But there's one specific pocket that every time I'm in that specific bag, I'm running everything. Like it just works. I'm running my environment. I'm able to control my environment in a way that allows me to grow and allows me to build. And that's something funny to say. That's something I learned while I was getting my bachelor's, like just the different styles of leadership. And now I'm in the process of getting my master's, and I feel like that's the road that I needed, just because it's refreshing to my mind. Like it's refreshing to understand how to write things. It's a refresher, as much as it moves fast. But I'm in a whole different state of being right now. Like the level of self-control is I don't know. Is this what they call like God body? It might be. Like I'm in the gym, I'm reading, I'm doing my research, I'm being creative. I have a creative outlet, I should say. I always have a creative outlet. And I just have a vision. Most importantly, I just have a vision. And I've probably had this vision before too. That's the crazy thing. I probably had the vision multiple times. But following that vision through, I feel like that's my pocket. It'll all make sense. This is just the start. It's just like a light bulb that went off. But it'll all make sense. Just knowing your role and not being afraid to own it. Not being afraid to own it. Appreciating it and owning it. It might not be the role you want to be. Like not everybody could be the gangster. Not everybody could be the star. Not everybody could be the class clown. Not everybody could be all of those things, but everybody has a niche. I don't know why I fell off the cliff. That's what it feels like right now. I feel like, wait a minute, I just kind of woke up. I guess I don't know, I felt like a fire in my stomach. I don't know what this all means, but I just know. I had to record this. I definitely had to record this. Like I had to let my mind just let all of this stuff out, because I feel it and I understand it. Acceptance is big, man. Taking everything for what it is, that shit, I don't know. That's such a, everything is as it should be. I've been saying that a lot, just trying to, believe it. At first I didn't believe it. Everything is as it should be. Sorry, I'm the type of person, I want everything to be how I want it. That's how I am. But being like that brings so much disappointment. Sometimes you just have to see how it is and just maneuver through it. You just maneuver through the whole thing. That shit's kind of, you just gotta maneuver through it, and you find your way. That's the thing about it. You fall, you hit walls, you'll get hit, you'll get hurt, but you most definitely will find your way. And once you find your way, there's only up to one person to follow through with that path. Like there's a path for you. There's a path for you. You see it, but you might be distracted, you might see other things, but you see it. There's a path. You just got to be able to, when everything is at its worst, or when everything gets crazy, when you feel like everything's falling apart, you just got to follow that. You just got to follow that, and you'll make it out the other side a whole different person. A whole different person. And once you accept that, the evolution is crazy. My mind right now, just everything about right now. Everything about right now. Like right now I'm sitting outside just looking around, and things are still moving. Everything's still moving. Everybody is up to something right now, right at this exact moment that I'm doing this. And there's a squirrel running in front of me. He's just minding his business. It's just finding that niche, man. I know I'm veering off, but this is just a mind-blowing experience. Just to be so aware. And to maintain that awareness, that's actually like a brain exercise. Literally, I just kept telling myself, everything is as it should be. Everything is as it should be. That's it. There's no other way. Figure out your way in it. Don't try to fight the moment. If you fight the moment, you're gonna lose. You just gotta capitalize on every moment, and when you capitalize on every moment, you're always gonna get your win, no matter what. No matter what. No matter what, take your small wins and celebrate them. And celebrate every single one of them. Because they matter. Those little wins matter. They matter a lot more than you think right now. Those little wins matter a lot. Those probably matter more than the big prize, honestly. And that's an opinion. That's just my opinion. It should be facts. But those little wins that you miss because you're thinking about something else, those are the things that really help you stand out and get the upper hand. Always have the upper hand. Even when you're under, always have the upper hand. Every moment is a moment to play a card. And go with your strengths. Everybody has to be able to build their strengths. And you know what? Part of life is experiencing too, which is kind of counterintuitive to me almost. You know, everybody wants to live out experiences, but I'm not going to put a but on it. It's good. It's good you learn a lot from experience. Actually, thinking back, it would have to be my experience that put me right here to just understand this whole mindset, finding that thing. And I know what it is. Now I know. And it's clear. It's clear. And guess what, guys? Your pride is what's going to hold you back. Your pride is what causes fear. Your pride is what causes envy. Your pride is what causes jealousy and just all these negative sins, like just to think and pour energy out like that. And that's only your pride. Your pride doesn't allow you to accept things in the moment a lot of the times. And that's okay. Don't get me wrong, that's okay. You must fall before you really learn sometimes. Sometimes you gotta just fall on your face to really understand what's in front of you. And not to talk about L's, I don't think there's never such thing as a permanent L. The second you feel it's a permanent L, I don't know. I feel like that impacts, that's a negative impact. It's the moment. Moments change before you know it, so I mean, at this point, I try not to get attached. To nothing at all, like just not attached. I'm just flowing because I know I'm focused on one thing. It's so weird. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but like I'm just so focused on one thing, one goal. That's my goal. Like that's the goal, to hit that goal. And it's almost as if focusing on that goal is helping me navigate through all the good and the bad the same way, with no I guess I wouldn't say like negative karma, maybe. Like I'm not reacting, there's no reaction. It's almost like I'm just kind of looking at the field. I see a gazelle minding his business. I see a couple more a little over there. They don't see me, but I'm looking at everything. I'm looking how everything is moving. And once you're in that moment, guess what? You catching something. Just capitalizing on that moment. Never get too excited. And never downplay anything either. That's just as bad. Again, it's a matter of focusing on that goal. If you know you have that goal in mind, nothing will really fluctuate your mood. It shouldn't fluctuate your mood, because you know you're going one direction. Yes or no, it's one direction. And it helps. A lot of people that know me that are gonna listen to this are probably gonna have different ideas of what specifically is driving me right now. But it's even surprising to myself. You would think it's one thing or another. I could probably list 10 things that I would say you would think would motivate me. And this one thing that's in my mind right now, I don't think any of them can even connect to it. This is this one thing. It's small too. That's the thing about it. It's very small. It's very minute, but to some at least. But for me to see that, looking at the field, there's one gazelle right there. There's 100 of them. But there's one. There's one right here that's getting caught. For sure. 100%. There's at least one that I see that's getting caught. Out of all the ideas, out of all the aspirations, out of everything that I want so much. You know, we just want. With so many things that we want. But I know for a fact there's one thing out there that I want. And it's there. It's looking at me. We're looking at each other. But they know what time it is. It knows what time it is. Whatever that thing is that you got, it should know what time it is. Regardless of him looking around, yeah, there's 100 gazelles, but there's one. There's one for sure that I'm staring down, and they're not making it out of this field. And that it's about going after that one. That one. That'll bring everything else. Once I feed myself, I could do a little more. And that's for anybody. Once you feed yourself, you could do a little more. But it's a matter of staying fed. You got to feed that alpha. You got to feed that beast. The same way you feed the kid in you. The same way you feed, for fathers. Like, there's different roles that you play in life, and there's different ways to feed them. But there's that one thing that feeds your alpha. And that alpha, once it's fed, once that main and that core gets fed, it allows you to do everything else effortlessly, just because life would just give you things in abundance, just because you're always in that mode. And what it takes to find that mode, I think it takes, I don't know, it's so simple. I think it takes acceptance. It just takes acceptance, and that's simple to say. It's not necessarily like a big gem that I'm giving out here, but acceptance alone, literally just acceptance. And how you accept things, it might be different. Because there's so many different situations that can happen in just any given moment. Whether you're single, in a relationship, a mom, a dad, athlete, like everybody's life has a timeline. And things are happening. Right now, I'm just focused so much on one goal. I won't even say this goal. I don't even want to put any energy other than the energy I'm putting towards it. That's it. And it'll just, one day, it's going to feel like it's overnight. It's definitely going to feel that way. Because I see it vividly. My goodness. Vividly. I just can't trip while I'm getting it. But I got this. What's understood never has to be explained. That's too much talking. That's way too much talking. If you know, you know. Oh my God, yo, that shit's just, man. These are things. Where was I at? Where was I at? Where was I at, man? I feel like I missed out on a whole era here. Maybe it's my time too. Let me not say that. Maybe it's just my time now. It's my time to see it. It's my time to go. You feel me? It's my turn to go get that. It's mine though, for sure. Like, this is not... What? I wish I was projecting this energy my whole life. Everybody has different upbringings. I never had the ability to... Everybody always looked out for me in every aspect, and that's including the emotional side, where they would protect my feelings. And low key, I hate that though. I don't tell them, but literally I hate that. I hate that people feel the need that they have to protect my feelings. I'm more so to just drop it. I feel how I feel for a couple minutes, and then I keep it pushing. But when you drag things out, I feel like that's so annoying. Especially when it becomes distracting almost. Almost distracting. If you know, you know. I gotta keep repeating that. That might be my next motto, to keep repeating to myself every morning. If you know, you know. Don't doubt yourself. Don't ever doubt yourself. Do not ever doubt yourself. Ever. Ever. This is, yo, do not ever, 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 ever doubt yourself. Once you do that, you just lost. You gave up. You quit. You quit. The moment you doubted yourself, somebody saw the weakness and they attacked. Do not ever, ever doubt yourself. No matter what you are doing, no matter where in life you are, when you get up, you just got to look at everything like you already got it. There's no other alternative. Everything is as it should be. You have everything that you need. You might not see it because you're looking at the things that you want, but as long as you use everything that you need correctly, sorry, I said correctly, what is that? As long as you use everything that you need correctly, all the things that you want will show up. I promise you. I'm ready to put everything I got on this. Everything I got on this. This moment right now, I'm ready to put everything I got on this. I don't know where this moment's from. I don't know where in time I am. I don't even know what time it is right now. And that's even just the whole concept of everything. I don't even know what time it is right now. I don't even want to look. I don't want to look. I don't want to even know what time it is. I just know this moment. Being in the moment, just getting lost in it. And capitalizing on what's around you. This is kind of... You are the best at what you do. You are the best at what you do. No matter what. And if you're not good at it, be honest with yourself too. You have to be honest with yourself. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Don't try to make it for you. Don't try to fake it. Because the person that it's for, when they pull up, they're going to pull up. Definitely pulling up. You won't even see them either. You just looking, they're right there. Boom, looking at you like, oh, that gazelle right there? Hold up. Beast mode. Beast mode. You just got to be beast mode, man. Every day, every time, every minute, every second, beast mode. I don't know where this beast came from, but I'm about to feed this beast, man. This beast about to go. And I say beast, man. I'm scared. I'm terrified right now. The potential is so vast, and I'm terrified right now. This beast about to go off. Every alley, if it's mine, it's mine. And if it's not, just let it rock. Charge it to the game. Everybody gotta eat. Whoever it's for, let them get it. But if it's mine, there's nobody out here stopping that. Period. Goals are just, I got this. I've had this. Gratitude. I've had this. I just needed to show gratitude. If it's yours, it's yours. If you let it get taken, that's up to you, man. If it's yours, you can't let it rock. I'll never let it rock. And I'm watching too, people doing what I want and excelling. And the thing I see that they don't have, I mean, somebody might even look at me the same way just from their point of view, but the thing I feel from my point of view that they don't have is a pride. Their pride doesn't affect their judgment. But there might be some cases that it does. I feel like anytime your pride impacts your judgment completely to react in the way that's out of character, it's not for you. If that makes sense at all to anyone. Like, if you're acting out of character, it's not for you. Trust me, it's not for you. If it has you acting out of character, you gotta look in the mirror and be honest with yourself and be like, yo, what's going on? Why are you mad? Sit yourself down. Even if it's not mad, it could be anything. It could be panicking. It could be like, just, if you're reacting in a way you know is not you, you just have to know that it's not for you. It's not for you. Get what's yours. And it's not even about comfort and not trying to evolve. Believe me, everything gets better over time. You just gotta, you acquire more. Generally, you acquire more. But stay in your lane. If you could use one thing to get everything, wouldn't you want to focus on that? Instead of focusing on everything at once? But there's one thing you could do that could bring you everything. In abundance, to the point that you don't even know what to do with it. You're giving it away. Left and right, just because there's so much. Just by doing what you're great at. Just being great. Be the great person you know you are. The rest of this shit is just a big ass distraction. Don't get caught up in the hype. The hype is what gets you, man. Don't let the hype get you. Never get too excited. Just stay low. Stay low, be in the moment, and that's it. Be in the moment. If you can't own the moment, just fall back a little bit. Because your moment will come. Your moment always comes. Your moment will always come. Don't miss it. Don't miss it because something threw you off. Don't do that. Take the moment. Own that shit. So I hope those voice notes answered all you guys' questions. Well, the 3 questions that I received. And, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. Montsreal, MONTS Real, on IG and Twitter. That's also my email at Gmail, montsreal@gmail. I'll probably set up a phone number by the 3rd episode that you guys can just text me, just open it up for the world. Just to have another line of communication. But I really want to thank you guys for checking this out. This is still new to me. I promise to be more consistent. I'm aiming to try to drop one of these every 2 weeks or so. That way it could kind of fit with everything else that I have in motion right now. I don't want to spread myself too thin. But I definitely, based on the feedback that I received from you guys, I definitely want to keep this thing going. So thank you guys for checking it out. Ready to Talk episode 2. I'll see you guys on the third one. Peace.